It's January 3rd of 2026. Forget how much I like New Year's Eve and the New Year. It may be one of my favorites. Checked out a couple of bars on New Year's Eve. Came back, had a night music and dancing. It was fun. I quite like, I've got like the phones that, or the light bulbs that are on an app, so I can change the color and the pattern and all that kind of stuff. It is fun to play with from time to time. Although, not too long ago, it a circadian rhythm function appeared in the app, so it changes the color of the light depending on the time of day, which is nice. I don't love that when you turn it on it takes a second to adjust, so there'll be a flash, but oops. So I don't know what I do, but sometimes when I throw the ball, it goes up and not out. River, can you go around and find it, please? Our Wisteria got blown over, and it is very sad. The trellis it was on, the posts had just snapped. It wasn't super well made, apparently, but it was a hell of a Wisteria. So we're gonna, and when I say we, I mean my husband is going to build a new trellis. He's got to use a post holder today. So much veg today. We went out last night to, it was an emo versus pop punk music or MySpace music video party. It was fun. The second DJ was definitely a better hype man. But I don't know, it's fun to hear those songs that loud and with the lights, and there was like a giant projector showing, or a giant video screen, and they were playing music videos, some of which I've seen. A lot of the songs I didn't know, especially towards the beginning. But it was a cool, little venue. I'd go again. I had fun. Maybe try to get a group together. Plan ahead next time. I had mentioned going a couple weeks ago, and Josh was like, no. Okay, so I found like a local party event for a bar. We showed up and it was like one couple and one group of friends in a very small bar. I don't know, it was... If I was by myself and this is what I had chosen to do for the evening, I probably would have stayed there, to be honest. But we went where there were more bars instead. And we went to our favorite German place. And it was just Wednesday night. There wasn't even music playing. Like, there was someone there in a sparkly jacket. And at some point, a couple of women came in dressed in like cute, sparkly cocktail dresses. I had my party dress on, although I kept my sweater on because it'd be cold. But yeah, it was kind of lame for New Year's Eve when we were out. And I was like, there were options. And he was like, yeah, but I didn't want to go into the city on New Year's Eve. I was like, it's not New Year's Eve. I thought it was tonight, but it was last night. So while we were sitting there in the fairly dead bar eating a pretzel, I got tickets to the event. I appreciate the fashion. I did end up putting my earplugs in. The music definitely got louder throughout the night. But we were also there, like, the first half hour was just like lights on, music, get to the bar, let people get checked in kind of thing. It bounced off her face and came right back at me. But it was a nice couple of nights. Transferred the dates on the calendar today. Although I have a couple of things I need to put in. I need to remember to move my car Monday morning, because someone is coming out to take down a tree next door. It's a big old pine, and it keeps dropping branches. It took out part of our fence this year. I guess it went through the neighbor's roof last year, a branch, which sounds terrifying and unhelpful of trees, but that one's coming down, so we're gonna get a lot more sun on that side of the house. But I need to move my car on Monday for the arborist. We were supposed to have an arborist come out and look at our wisteria. but my husband's been dealing with it, and they like changed times on him to some time we couldn't do because it was when the other arborists are going to be here, so like we don't want to be out and about. I don't think he ever got back to them. Anywho. I saw we did some Black Ops shit or whatever in Venezuela. And I guess according to the president, we're just there now. So that's a choice. Well, that's an imperialism, maybe. I got these massive incense sticks, like the outdoor ones. The kind you'd burn in a temple. This one's pine, it's good. I try not to burn incense in the house because Josh doesn't really like it, which is like fair. But sometimes. This is the third time she's played fetch today. Which really means I should play more fetch with you other days. I've dropped off lately. Saturday afternoon. For now. I'm gonna enjoy it while it's here. There's a art project that I sketched up 3 or 4 years ago at this point. I don't remember where the sketch is, but I have a vague recollection of it in my head. For like a 3D piece that involves rusty chicken wire. I drew it up when I was working at the thrift store, and I had showed a picture of it or mentioned it to a friend, and they're like, we have some old chicken wire you can have. And I haven't. And I finally got the base. It's because this has just been sitting there getting more rusty and delightful, but I finally found something I want to use as a base. I nearly made it a puzzle board instead, because it's also about that size. But it's textured like bricks, so it's it was wobbly to put a puzzle together on. And I didn't really love the puzzle. I love puzzles of paintings. I don't really love doing puzzles that are photographs. I don't know. I like looking at, like, I have this one that's a bunch of different Van Gogh paintings, and I love looking at all the little puzzle pieces, and you really like live in the brush strokes if you're looking at just a small piece of these beautiful pieces. Beautiful fucking, I guess, masterpieces. I'm very happy that I got to go to the Van Gogh Museum. Should plan a trip to a museum. I miss looking at paintings in person. Love watching painting restoration. I wish I had learned to paint. But that's alright. I will work in mixed media instead. Work in texture. You can also do that with oils, but I'm not getting into oils. I'm not opening that can of worms. I'm not. It's not going to happen. Can of worms, not open. Anywho. But the base that I found is a big rectangle that has the texture of brick as the background and like a wooden frame. And I went in and I painted the bricks all black. It used to say something like about home or family or something, but I didn't. It's not why I got it, so I blacked out the inside, and then I'm waiting on some supplies. So I learned from the last piece that I did, where I just used regular gesso as like, I used regular gesso and texture paste, and I guess, unrefined witch's salt is what I would call it. Because I need to grind it up, but I haven't. So it's just like ashes and salt. And so there's some pretty big chunks in there. So she chunky. But I use gesso as my like adhesion source for the texture bits. And then I painted it black, which meant it was kind of a pain in the ass. Whereas if I did the same thing, but with black gesso, I could probably just like skip the painting step or get right to the painting to add painting's sake, not to just change the base color. I could just start with a black canvas. Because God forbid that I like do something cheery. I kept thinking about this. I made this piece for my friends because I had such a lovely time with them at Christmas. And it's like a black box covered in rusty nails. Like, it is not the most like hang me on your wall friend piece of art, I must say. D'Angelo Wallace is back on the internet. Heck yeah. What do you got on your booty, River? It looks like dirt. You wanna come here? Or is that a bug? What's on your butt? She would rather play ball. It was dirt. It fell off. The backyard feels so exposed without the wisteria there. And then that tree's gonna go away. Like, when we bought this property, this was a little glade in the forest. And now there's a row of fucking houses right there. It's fucking awful. I was looking at the listing pictures the other day from when we bought the place, and just like the ever-present warm green glow. Delightful. I still like this house a lot though. But I can't see me staying so far from the woods for so long. But then another part of me is like, but you're here, you remember. But it gets harder and harder to look over the fence and see the woods that were once there instead of the houses. They're just so imposing. At least when it was a field, it was a field. There were deer and it sucks. Alright. So everyone pray for my wisteria. May it recover like a wisteria is wont to do. Everyone likes it. Happy 2026. Enjoy your full moon tonight.